Hey guys, what's up? Duct here, and today we're going to be doing a video on all of the talismans, how to get them, how to reforge them, what reforges you want to go for, which will incorporate what armor you're using, because certain armor will give you higher crit chance or higher crit damage, and you're going to need to focus more on crit chance or more on crit damage. For example, indoor armor is going to make a big difference compared to unstable, or if you're in like hardened diamond, what you're trying to do there. So essentially, we're going to be going over all of that. I know this video is probably not going to be the shortest, but I wanted to be as informative as possible and give you all the most information I could possibly give. Anyways, hope you all enjoy the video. If you do, consider liking it, and let's dive right in. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the farming talismans. The first farming talisman is going to be in the Wheat 4 collection, which is going to require 500 wheat collected, so honestly not too much for that. The farming talisman is going to be common though, so it's not going to give you that great of reforges. Its ability is just to increase your speed by 10% in the farm, the barn, and mushroom desert, so it's nothing great, but it is pretty cheap to craft, so it's only going to take you 5 hay bales and 4 seeds, so you don't really, not going to be that bad, so definitely one that you're going to want to make. Our next talisman is going to be in the Potato 3 collection. Now, Potato 3 is only 500 potatoes, so this one is also one that you could pretty easily get. It is also common, of course. Its ability is just going to provide you immunity to poison damage when held, which is pretty decent, you know, honestly. Now, the thing is, if you do have all the talismans, you are going to have some room in your inventory. Luckily, just added another talisman bag upgrade, so that's going to help that out a bit, but still, if you have, like, all the talismans, you're still going to have some extra inventory space to hold them, which is not always desirable, of course. Now, to craft it, it's only going to take 9 poisonous potatoes, so if you just have like a zombie minion going, you should get that pretty easily. The next talisman is going to be in the Sugarcane 2 collection. So that's only going to be 250 sugarcane, so you probably already have that unlocked. It's also going to be a common talisman, so obviously not great reforges, but hey, it's some reforges. So just plus 3 speed when held, which I guess is kind of nice to just have in general. Why not? And it is really cheap to craft, only taking 12 sugarcane in each of the 9 slots. Now in the future, it's going to be available to be upgraded, but that is coming soon, so you can't actually upgrade it right now. Our next talisman is going to be the Feather Talisman, which is to be the first upgradable talisman that is in our video here. So the first talisman in the Feather collection is going to be in Feather 4 at 1,000 feathers collected. All it does is essentially increase how high you can fall before taking fall damage. So that's very nice. For example, in the end, where you have to jump from the top all the way down to the bottom, you're definitely going to want this. It only takes 12 feather in each slot, just like the other talisman. So it is pretty cheap to craft. Now, the upgraded ones are not quite as cheap, but they're not bad. They're just slightly better in terms of their effect. But also, if you didn't know, you could have multiple of the same, like, you can have the entire upgrade path for this talisman in your inventory. So Feather, you have the Feather Talisman, then you have the Feather Ring, and the Feather Artifact. You can have them all in your inventory, but only the Feather Artifact actually works. But all the reforges on the other ones will work. For now, as of posting this video, the reforges do work. In the future, they may not, but for now, they do. Now, for the Feather Ring, it's going to be uncommon. Our first uncommon, luckily. And it takes enchanted feathers, and it takes the Feather Talisman. So it only takes 7 enchanted feathers, so honestly, this one is pretty cheap as well. And you're definitely going to want this. It's not that hard to craft if you just have down a chicken minion a bit, so you're definitely going to want to make that as well. You are going to need the recipe for it, which is 10,000 feathers, so as you can see, we don't have that recipe because we don't have that high of a chicken minion. So technically, when you get this talisman, we're going to either need to purchase it in auction or get our collection up for feathers. Now, for the last one, it's Feather Artifact, our first rare talisman as well. So this talisman is going to cost you 2 stacks of enchanted feathers, which honestly, it might sound like a lot, but really that's not that much because there's literally nothing else you use feathers for, essentially. So you're definitely going to want them. So if you do decide you want to purchase a Feather Artifact, it's going to cost you some money on auction. So if I click on Ending Soon, we might just want to search more than just Feather. Maybe search Feather Artifacted here is most likely what you want to do. And then you can click on Ending Soon here. So if you click on Ending Soon here, 15 minutes, 390k. This one is going to be very expensive, especially because of the quantity. There just aren't that many. So I can't actually see what one's going for with like 1 minute left. But with 15 minutes left, this is already going for almost 400k. You're probably going to have to pay that much. Honestly, this is pretty late at night. It's 11 p.m. for me. It's midnight Eastern time. I don't see it going for much cheaper than this. You might have to pay up to like 500k, honestly. And Is it worth it? I mean, it's a rare, but honestly, this one isn't that expensive to craft, so I would probably craft this myself if you can. I know the collection isn't the easiest, but honestly, I would probably try to craft this one myself. It's 2 stacks with enchanted feathers. Is that really worth 500k to y'all? It's not to me, but it might be worth it to y'all, so if you want to buy it, I guess you can. Our next talismans are in the Nether Wart collection. The first one being in Nether Wart 3, so only 250 Nether Wart. Honestly, not too bad. It's only going to be a common, of course, and its effect is just increased potion duration by 10% for the common one. That's what all the others are going to do as well. And it is extremely cheap to craft, only requiring a little over 2 stacks of Nether Wart, so you'll definitely be able to craft this one pretty quickly. The second level of the Nether Wart is going to be the Potion Affinity Ring, which takes 10,000 Nether Wart collected. So it is going to be Nether Wart 7 collection, so quite a bit more needed for this one. It's uncommon, and the duration upgrade is 25% rather than 10%, which is quite a bit better. And it only takes 8 enchanted Nether Wart around the original one, so this one is honestly pretty easy to get as well. The last one in this collection is going to be Nether Wart 9, which is the Potion Affinity artifact. It is a rare, and its ability will increase your duration by 50%. Now remember, as I said, you could have the rare, the uncommon, and the common of each upgrade in your inventory in the Reforges will all work, but the ability from the rare will be the only one that works, because otherwise that would be pretty broken. Now, to craft the rare, you're going to need to put the uncommon or the Potion Affinity Ring in the middle and surround it with 4 stacks of enchanted Nether Wart, so this one is quite a bit more expensive, but definitely achievable within a little bit of amount of time. Now, if you do want to purchase a Potion Affinity artifact, it's definitely costs you some money. You're probably going to search Potion Affinity here, go to the Green Talismans tab, and then this will come up. Of course, you're going to organize by ending soon, because that's going to actually give you the price. The actual Affinity Talisman is going to be this one that has all the colors on it. The others are going to be rings, and you're not going to want to buy those, of course. So if you look at the artifact, this one's going for 300k, this one's going for 260k, this one's going for 2100 coins. Of course, it's not going to end at that. It has 23 minutes left. It's probably at least going to go for more than 200k. So if you're trying to purchase this, I'd say aim for maybe 250 to 300k. It doesn't look like you're going to be able to pay less than that. This one has 12 minutes. This one's probably going to go up to 400k at least. Maybe not, but it probably is. Our next talisman is going to be in the Mushroom collection in Mushroom 7. So 10,000 mushrooms are necessary to be able to craft this. It's called the Night Vision Charm. Essentially, it just gives you Night Vision 1 while this item is in your inventory, which it is only a common, so that's a negative, I guess. You are going to need 10,000 mushrooms to be able to craft this, which is pretty expensive, honestly. But, you know, it's another talisman, so you take it or leave it. It's going to take enchanted brown and red mushrooms, 4 of each, so honestly not too bad to be able to craft this one. So if you don't have it, you might want to try to pick this up either from the auction, or you might want to be able to craft it. It's not too hard to get the Mushroom 7 collection. You're just going to put down a Mushroom minion for a little while and let it self-upgrade, essentially. Alright guys, so the next talisman is going to be in the Pumpkin collection under Pumpkin 6. It's going to be the Farmer's Orb, so to get Pumpkin 6 you need 5,000 pumpkins collected. As you can see, we have like 4.5 mils, so I think we're allowed to make Farmer's Orbs. What it does is it increases the regrowth rate of nearby crops on the public islands, regrowing an extra crop every 3 seconds. It's okay, honestly, it's not that great, but it is an uncommon, which means we're gonna get some decent reforges from it. And it only takes 8 enchanted pumpkins. The expensive part is the enchanted glowstone, but you know, it's kind of worth it because it's an uncommon, so you might have to get a couple glowstone minions going to get that enchanted glowstone. Or you could try to buy it on auction, but that's not going to be the cheapest. Alright guys, so the next talisman is going to be under the Pig collection, or the Raw Pork Chop collection. So it's going to be under Raw Pork Chop 5, so that's 2,500 Raw Pork Chop collected, so not that bad, honestly. And it's actually something you're going to be using a lot. So it's something that I would definitely say you're 100% going to want to get. Because what you can do is you can make a deposit, like with you right click, you can make a deposit. But then it lets you withdraw as well. So you can deposit like 1 coin and take out like 1,000,000 coins. So essentially, as long as you have coins in your purse, you could just completely keep depositing and withdrawing unlimited times without actually having to go to the bank. It's really nice to have, and it's an uncommon. It is not exactly the cheapest uncommon to make. It's gonna take you 40 enchanted pork and a chest, but definitely worth it as it's a very useful talisman and it's an uncommon, so you're going to get a decent reforge on it as well. Alright, moving on to the mining talismans. Our first one is going to be in the Cobblestone collection in Cobblestone 8. So for Cobblestone 8, you're going to need 40,000 cobblestone collected, so this one's not the easiest to get, but not that hard either. 40,000 cobblestone is pretty achievable if you either have like a cobblestone minion down for quite a while, or if you're just self-mining with haste 2 and efficiency 5, or efficiency 5 gold with haste 3, mining at a cobble gen, you'll get that extremely quickly. All it does is gives haste 1 for 15 seconds when breaking any block, which doesn't really help that much, except that it's a rare talisman, which means you get a really good reforge on it, and that's what really matters here. It does take 4 stacks of cherry cobblestone, so it's definitely not the cheapest to craft, but honestly very worth it as it's a rare talisman. You could probably pick one up on auction, or you could go ahead and use the 4 stacks of cherry cobble if you did manage to mine that up yourself, or you could purchase it from the merchant. Now, if you want to purchase a Haste Ring, you can. You're just want to search Haste Ring here, go to accessories, and this is what you're going to get. So, ending soon, you got 1 hour, so there are not going to be that many of these on the auction. Honestly, this might be a good way to make some money if y'all are watching the video. Of course, the second I say that, there's going to be quite a few, maybe. But essentially, you could probably sell these for an okay amount of money, at least in the hundreds of thousands of coins. I don't know if it's actually worth it though. You might as well almost sell just enchanted cobblestone for like 30k a stack. Most likely probably get you some more money than this. You might get lucky though if there's a bidding war, because just there aren't that many. If people are trying to buy it, it is a rare talisman and it takes 4 stacks of enchanted cobble, so people might try to buy it. But essentially it looks like you're gonna have to pay at least the 100ks. It's hard to tell though, because there's one not ending for an hour. So yeah, this one, it's gonna be hard to tell the exact price of, but I'm gonna go probably around the 100k price at least. As you can see, some people are listing these at 180k starting, so 100k is gonna probably be the minimum there. And if you're gonna buy the enchanted cobble from auction, the minimum is gonna be like 120k, so most likely looking in the 120 plus k range. But you never know, you might get lucky. Maybe this guy forgot he bid on it, and you might get yourself a 1500 coin haste ring because someone forgot they bid on it. That does happen. That does happen, guys. Just, it's pretty rare. Our next mining talisman is going to be the Emerald Collection, the Talisman of Coins from Emerald 2. So that's only going to take 100 emeralds, so honestly this one's pretty easy to achieve. It is only a common, but hey, it's really cheap to make, so why not? Its ability is coins start appearing around you occasionally on public islands, which is, I guess, pretty nice. It's very minimalistic. It's essentially, you're just going to want the Reforge from this. Even though it is a common, it's still a Reforge, which is always nice. And it only takes 20 emeralds and 5 gold to craft, so why not have it? Unless you just don't want it to take up an inventory spot, which I would understand. A lot of people with a lot of talismans end up only keeping their uncommons in their talisman bag, so that and have the commons in their inventory, so they can keep them in like a backpack when they're not fighting a dragon or something. The next talisman is going to be Emerald 3, so just right up one more. It's only going to take 250 Emerald Collection, which is pretty cheap as well, honestly. It's called the Magnetic Talisman. What it does is it increases the item pickup range by 3 times, which is kind of nice to have, honestly. You're definitely going to want this one. And it's an uncommon, so this is one of the easiest uncommons to get in the game. It's only going to take you 2 stacks of emeralds to craft and 32 redstone, so extremely achievable and definitely one that's just to have. Alright guys, so the next talisman is going to be the Experience Artifact in Lapis 9. So this is going to be one that's kind of more difficult to get, but it is an epic talisman, so you're definitely going to want to get it. It takes 9 enchanted lapis blocks, which you might see as a lot, but really, if you have a really high level lapis minion down for a little while, it'll eventually get you that itself. Or if you have multiple lapis minions down, it'll get that pretty quickly, or you could purchase one on auction. They're not that cheap on auction though, so you might want to just do it with the minions, but it's a really good talisman, so you might just want to put down the minions, honestly, or you could fork up the money on auction. It's up to you. But what it does is it increases the experience orbs you gain by 25% while it's in your inventory, so it's actually kind of a nice one to really just have in general. So you probably do want to pick one of these up either from auction or with your minions, so you know. Also, it's epic. Come on, you got to get the Reforge. So purchasing an experience artifact is an option. So if you go to the auction house, you're going to want to search experience, go to the accessories tab, and sort by ending soon. As you can see, there aren't that many, but there are an okay amount here. It looks like you're going to have to pay in the 500k range, and that's what you're going to have to pay, guys. Possibly up to 600k, maybe even higher than that if you get in a bidding war. I wouldn't probably get in a bidding war for one, but hey, if you decide to, you might want to. It is not the cheapest to craft, but honestly, as you can see, this one ending a minute, 520k. That's probably going to sell for that, so I'd say, yeah, looking in the 500k range for sure for an experience artifact if you are trying to purchase one from auction. Alright, so the next talismans in the mining collection are going to be under the Nether Quartz collection. It's going to be Nether Quartz 7 and Nether Quartz 8, so you need 10,000 collection and 25,000 collection for each respectively, so not the least amount of Nether Quartz, but honestly not too bad. The Night Crystal, it's going to increase your strength and defense by 5 during the night. The day does that during the day. They're both rares, which is actually really good. And it takes 4 enchanted quartz like so in the corners, and an enchanted quartz block in the middle for the night. And for the day crystal, it's going to take it like so. Essentially, it's the same cost, but in different locations, the enchanted quartz. And they cost around 250,000 each if you're going to buy the items to craft them from the builder NPC, so you can buy the quartz straight up, which is a decent option. Or you could try to buy one on auction for a slight discount, maybe, but probably not. The next talisman is going to be in the Obsidian collection in Obsidian 3, so it's only going to take 250 Obsidian to be able to craft this one, so honestly, you're definitely going to want to get this one. It's an uncommon as well, which what it does, it does actually, I don't believe it actually works. Supposedly it doesn't work. It might now, it did in the past. Essentially what it did is it's supposed to increase your strength and defense the closer you are to the center of your island, which really doesn't matter since you're on your island. So, really, yeah. I don't know about this one. It doesn't really, the ability's not that great currently. Maybe it will be in the future. It is an uncommon though, so the Reforge is going to be pretty decent. It isn't that expensive to craft either, just a little over 2 stacks of obsidian, so you're probably going to want to craft this one. It's a pretty good deal. And that is going to be it for the mining collection. We're going to be moving on to the combat section. So in combat, there are not very many, but there are 2 that are pretty decent. They're going to be the Fire and Lava Talisman. We're going to be going over the Fire Talisman first. That is going to be in the Blaze Rod 5 collection. So you're going to need 2,500 Blaze Rods to be able to craft this one, but it is pretty good in terms of like the ability, but not the Reforge as it is only common. But essentially what it does is it provides immunity to fire while in your inventory, which is pretty nice. You're going to want this combined with the Lava Talisman though, or you're still going to take fire damage, so you're definitely going to want the Lava and Fire Talisman. To craft it, it takes 9 enchanted blaze powder, so not the cheapest, honestly one of the most expensive common talismans, but definitely worth it in what it does. You could also purchase it on auction for not an insane amount, but it's also not going to be super cheap. Now, for the Lava Talisman, it's going to be in the Magma Cream collection under Magma Cream 7, so 10,000 Magma Creams to craft this, so that is a decent amount of the collection, but honestly not too bad. It is an uncommon, and what it does, it provides immunity to lava while in your inventory. So basically we want this combined with the Fire Talisman, and you're just not going to take fire damage at all, or lava damage, and you just fly through lava essentially if you want to. Also, it's uncommon, which is really nice for Reforges. So it's going to take 9 enchanted Mag Cream to craft, so not the cheapest, but honestly a pretty cheap uncommon talisman. So it's essentially 1 Magnum Minion from level 4 to level 5. So it's pretty cheap and definitely worth getting. Alright, so our next talisman, yes, is going to be in the Foraging collection. So there's only one in here. It's going to be in Oakwood 8. So 10,000 Oakwood required to craft this. So an okay amount. You'll probably have this if you mine up yourself medium storages though. So not too bad. It is uncommon. It's going to increase your speed by 10% in the forest, graveyard, and wilderness. So somewhat useful, but not insanely good ability. But it is an uncommon, so decent Reforges. And it only takes 8 oak leaves and 1 enchanted oak wood to craft, so definitely worth crafting for an uncommon. Compared to some of the other uncommons, definitely a good deal. Now on to the fishing talisman. So there's a couple fishing talismans. Well, quite a couple, considering there's an upgradable one in here as well. The first talismans we're going to be going over, though, are in the lily pad collection. So the very first one is going to be the healing talisman. This is for 100 lily pad collection. So, honestly, not too bad. It increases healing by 5%, so somewhat nice to have, I guess. And the craft is pretty cheap, so only going to take 2 stacks of lily pads, plus like 16, so 2 stacks and 16 lily pads to craft, so pretty cheap. It is only a common, but hey, it's a talisman, so definitely going to want to probably get it. The next one is going to be in the lily pad 8 collection, so this one's going to be quite a bit harder to get. You're going to need 6,000 lily pads collected, which I'm fishing 19, almost 20, and I don't have, so you might want to try to purchase one on auction. They're not going to be that cheap though. But essentially what they do is they increase healing by 10%. To craft, they take 4 enchanted lily pads, which is quite a few, but It's probably worth it. It's questionably worth it. The next talisman, the most expensive talisman in the game, but it's only a rare, is an Ink Sac 8 collection. So 2,500 ink sacs, which, as I said, I'm fishing 19, so I don't even have that many ink sacs yet to be able to craft it. The thing is not crafting it, though. It's having the items to craft it. You need 9 stacks of 32 enchanted ink sacs. That's 4.5 stacks of ink sacs. Of enchanted ink sacs. That's 4.5 stacks of enchanted ink sacs. Oh my. That is... oh my. And its ability is not great. It's a 5% chance not to consume bait. And it's a rare talisman. These things are fetching like 10 million on the auction house. Because, simply put, 4.5 stacks of enchanted ink sacs is ridiculous. And there are some people that are... you know, there are some people that really want this talisman. So, there's people that fish specifically to get ink sacs to try to make one of these to make like 10 million coins. And I don't quite blame them, but at the same time, that's a lot of fishing just to be able to have this. I have 1,500 ink sacs, guys. This takes 23,000. 23,000. So you know how I mentioned you could buy a bait ring from auction for 10 million coins? I wasn't kidding. 12 hours left, 16,696,969 coins from Sprill. Yeah. 18 million coins on this one. I mean, this one in 2 days, 46,000. It's not going for that, guys. So, if you're actually looking to purchase a bait ring, unless you're a 20 millionaire plus, you can't. And even if you are, it's probably not worth it. I mean, it's a rare talisman. You're going to get yourself +2 strength, +8 crit damage, and +2 attack speed for 17 million coins. Just saying, probably not worth it. The next talismans are going to be in the sponge collection, so there are multiple in here, and they are upgradable. So this is going to be the Sea Creature Talisman. It only takes 200 sponge to have the collection to unlock it, so not too bad. So sponge 4. The ability, not insane. It takes 5% less damage from sea creatures. Of course, it is only a common, and crafting it isn't that bad. It's only 18 sponge, which are pretty cheap to get. So you're probably going to want to go ahead and pick one of these up. They're pretty, I mean, it's worth it for having another talisman, I guess. Its upgraded version in Sponge 6 collection, or 800 sponge unlocked, is the Sea Creature Ring. So this is an uncommon, and you take 10% less damage from sea creatures, which is a bit better. It is going to take 2 enchanted sponge, though, along with 6 extra sponge and the original talisman. So it's not the cheapest, because sponge is quite expensive, because it's pretty hard to get vast quantities of. But 2 enchanted sponge is not ridiculous. So I would say this is definitely worth getting, the Sea Creature Ring, or you can pick one up on auction if you're really looking to. The last version of it is the Sea Creature Artifact, which I can't even craft, which I have fishing 19. It takes 2,500 sponge to have the collection. You could probably look for one of these on auction. They're not super cheap, but, you know. Its ability is you take 50% less damage from sea creatures, which is pretty good, honestly. And since it's a rare, you know, rares are really good for reforges. So, you know, I'm going to have to suggest to get it. But it's definitely going to cost you some moolah or a lot of time fishing or with fishing minions. Now, a sea creature artifact, one of these, you could buy yourself one in the auction if you really want to. You're going to be looking at quite a bit of money though, honestly. This one ending in 25 minutes, 1 million coins. This one ending in 2.5 hours, 1,650,000 coins. This one, 1.5 million coins. 2 million coins. Yeah, guys. If you're trying to buy one of these, extremely expensive. But the craft is extremely expensive as well. So it kind of makes sense. But oh boy, guys. Oh boy. Alright, so the next talismans you can actually just purchase at spawn. So if you go to spawn, you're just going to want to look left. And you're going to want to talk to the adventurer right here. If you haven't talked to them before, you are going to have to click on them and then click on them again to access this menu. Here you can buy the Zombie Talisman, the Skeleton Talisman, the Village Affinity Talisman, the Mine Affinity Talisman, the Intimidation Talisman, and the Scavenger Talisman. The Scavenger and Intimidation are somewhat more expensive. They're 10,000 coins each. All these are commons, so they're not going to offer you the best Reforges, but hey, the Reforges are the Reforges, and they'll help you a bit with your crit chance or crit damage if you are looking for that, which most of you watching this video probably are. The abilities, none of them are that great. The Intimidation Talisman is okay. Level 1 monsters will no longer target you anymore. The thing is, that doesn't always work, but hey, when it works, it is nice to have for your minions, because all the mobs your minions spawn are level 1, so that is kind of nice to have. And the Scavenger Talisman is pretty decent as well, that you'll get your 10,000 coins back if you kill enough mobs, so you are probably going to want to pick up the Scavenger Talisman as well. Honestly, I'd probably pick all these up eventually if you are going for a pretty good crit chance, crit damage build, which, as I said, most of you watching this video probably are. Alright guys, so the next talismans I'm going to be talking about are ones that are slightly more difficult to get. You can purchase them from Auction House, but let's just start off with the first one. It's going to be the Bat Talisman. So we're here at Tavetica's Island because he actually has a thing for it. So essentially, you're going to need a roofed forest island. Essentially, you're going to need a crystal from the roofed forest island to be able to spawn bats. The roofed forest island is in Dark Oak Wood 6 collection, so only 5,000 Dark Oak Wood needed. What it does is it just spawns a roofed forest island. It only takes 15 Dark Oak Wood and 30 dirt to craft, so you're definitely going to be able to get that pretty easily. A thing you need is the crystal that it gives you up here. So this crystal at night has a chance to spawn bats, and bats have a very small rare drop chance to drop a bat talisman when you kill them. So essentially what you're probably going to want to do is have a bow and basically with aiming and telekinesis shoot at them every night and essentially hope you get a bat talisman, or you can buy it from auction. Now, if you're looking to buy a bat talisman from auction, all you have to do is type bat talisman into the query if you click search down here. Then you're going to go ahead and go to accessories right here. Now, you are probably going to sort this by ending soon to see approximately what they're going for. So the one ending in 5 minutes is 100,000 coins. The next one ending in 6 minutes is 26,000 coins. So if I were trying to get one, I would probably bid on either the one at 26,000 or this one at 690 in 11 minutes. Now, the reason this one's at 690 is it's not almost done. It's probably not going to go for that price. It's probably going to go for, if you look around here, at least in the 20,000 range, probably not even that. If we go to the last page, we can see what the ones ending right now are selling for. So in like a minute 40, 35,000 coins, 5 minutes, 100,000 coins, 50,000 coins, 75,000 coins. So they are a little volatile here, but, you know, I guess that's kind of what most things on Skyblock are. They are pretty volatile. So it looks like you can pick one up for around 50,000 coins, probably. You could maybe get one slightly less expensive or one slightly more, but, you know, it is not exactly prime time right now, so I'd say 50,000 is probably going to be the sweet spot for this one. Alright guys, now on to a slightly more difficult to acquire talisman. This is going to be the Spider Talisman. Now, to get one of these puppies, you're going to have to kill the broodmother in the spider's den, which if you didn't know how to get here, you go through the graveyard, which is over there. It's going to be next to where all the wood stuff is at spawn. You go to the right of it, then you see this little jump pad. You jump on that, and you'll be able to get here. You do have to have combat level 1, which you probably do if you're watching this video. But anyways, so to kill the broodmother, it's at the very top of this thing, and it only spawns about once per hour. So to actually get this talisman is not going to be super easy. There are people that just literally sit up there waiting for it to spawn. It's not that hard to kill. Obviously, if you probably are combat level 1, you're not going to be able to kill it. But if you have decent gear, you're going to be able to kill it. It's not that strong. Definitely the weakest boss in the game, and by far. Now, I'm trying to get to the actual top to show you. With a grappling hook, it is possible. You're probably going to want a grappling hook to do this. Otherwise, it's going to be quite a bit more difficult to get to the top, slash almost impossible. I would definitely suggest getting a grappling hook to do this. Now, the thing is, there are oftentimes other people sitting up here waiting for it to spawn, so you have to be wary of other people possibly trying to steal the Spider Talisman from you. Essentially, what you're going to do at the top of the tower here is just wait here until the broodmother spawns, and then you're going to want to kill it. This could take it up to an hour. It could take a lot less, and yeah, essentially, if you kill it, you're going to get the Spider Talisman, which, yay. Otherwise, yeah, so you're going to have to spend a while waiting up here if you're trying to get it, or you could just buy it from the auction. Alright guys, so if you are looking to purchase a Spider Talisman, it's going to set you back some coins, but nothing crazy, I guess. If you want to find this in the auction house, just go to the search here, type Spider Talisman, and you can go to the accessories right here, and you can see if you order this by ending soon, you can see what they're going for. The one in 40 minutes is at 75,000 coins already. We have one here for 1,000 coins, and basically a lot for not very many coins. The thing is, the problem here lies in that none of these are ending right now. So essentially, I'm gonna say probably you're gonna have to spend at least 50,000 coins on a spider talisman, because these things are not that easy to get. You might even have to go up to 100,000, because these are gonna go up, obviously, just they're not ending right now. So they're not gonna end, like, basically, there's no point in someone bidding more right now when they could bid more towards the end and hope people don't have time to respond with a bid. Alright, so this is another one of those talismans where you're gonna have to travel a bit. So you're gonna have to go to the end here, and here in the end you're gonna go left. So what you have to do to get this talisman, it's called the Pig's Foot. It's honorary of our man Technoblade. What you have to do is do the end race. So the end race, you click on Goober here, and you are timed on your run from right here all the way to the other point, which I could show you here. Essentially, you're going to want to grappling hook this. You go quite a bit faster if you use like very wise armor like I am, and then like aspect of the end, like teleport across a lot of places. But the grappling hook is still very helpful there, because you're not going to have enough mana to do like the whole thing or anything. So then you run down there, you run to that little pattern, that like gold block down there, and then you have to run all the way back. And it will time you. You have to do it within certain different amounts of time. You unlock the talisman at, I believe, finishing in 48 seconds, which is definitely doable if you run it correctly. And that'll give you the Pig's Foot, which I do have right here. It is a rare talisman. It gives you +1 speed. And it's like a rabbit foot, but more useless. Oh, man. But yeah, it was honorary of Technoblade, so you know, we gotta honor our boy. Alright guys, so the next talisman is a rare drop from the Water Hydra, which is a level 19 fishing boss. Well, actually it's level 100, but essentially you need fishing 19 to catch it. Now, when you catch it, it's a rare drop, so you're not going to get this most of the time. It's just you can. It's not quite as rare as the Water Hydra head, but it is pretty rare. So you're probably going to be sitting here with your Rod of Champions or Rod of Legends or whatever rod you managed to have for quite a while if you're trying to get one. I do have one, and I got it from a Water Hydra. So Water Hydras aren't like the most rare thing in the game, but they aren't going to be the easiest to get either. So it's going to be up to your luck essentially to get this. If you are trying to buy one in auction, just search Fish Affinity and go to the accessories, and you'll find them here. You're going to want to go to ending soon, of course, and they're not cheap. They're definitely not cheap. You're looking at, of course, these are starting bids in the 275, 300,000 range. I'd say you could probably get one for 150k to 200k at an off time, probably. Let's see if we go over here to see one that's ending right away. There is none, because, yeah, they're kind of harder to get. You're definitely going to have to fork up some cash, though, if you really want to get this, because there are quite a few people trying to get them, and it's a rare talisman, so people do definitely want it. So you're definitely going to want to, yeah, see, it just went up to 140k. You're probably going to have to fork up in the 200k range, at least, possibly 300k, is what it's looking like. So, guys, we're going to a dark auction, which, if you didn't know, is right here past the Fairy Soul Pond, and it's going to spawn here for a second in about 2 minutes. So, going to go and wait the 2 minutes out, and I'll see y'all for the dark auction for our attempt at buying an Ender artifact. Only if we get a good deal. I'm not overpaying for this thing. Yeah. It's not going to be cheap, though. They just don't go cheap any longer now that the end's out, and it's a rare talisman. You're looking at a lot of money here, folks. You're looking at a lot of money here. Well, no Ender artifact, unfortunately. Well, guys, that dark auction is where you would get an Ender artifact if one came up. It doesn't come up every night. So, yeah, your chance of getting it's not high. If you've already been to a dark auction, you can click on your... If you've already been to a dark auction, you can click on your menu, go to the calendar here for upcoming events, bottom right calendar. It will tell you how long until the next dark auction, so 55 minutes for me. If you haven't been one before, I don't believe it will. At least it didn't in the past. It might now. So you may have to either ask someone that can go to 1. If you decided to purchase an Ender artifact from the regular auction, you're going to be looking at some expensive prices, guys. It's just how it is. The one in 5.5 hours is already at 5 million coins. It might go above that, to be honest, because as you can see, there are not that many in the auction. I was a lucky boy, and I got one before the end update for like 200 something thousand coins in a dark auction. So, yeah. Anyways, you're looking at 5 million coins most likely, at least, for this. I mean, like, literally, someone's bid 5 million on this one, 4.3 on this one, 4.5 on that one, and this one's ending in 17 hours, and they bid 4.5. I mean, you're at least looking at 5 mil, guys, at least. Alright, so now that we've gone over how to get every single talisman, you're probably wondering, hey Duct, how do I reforge these? So, yeah. Reforging is going to be depending upon your armor set entirely. So, my main armor set is a full Godly Reforged, unstable armor set. Now, the reason it's Godly is because Godly gives increased strength, crit chance, and crit damage, so it's actually really nice to have. And the crit chance is pretty good. Now, it's not the best crit chance available, though. Now, if you're just trying to go to the end to be able to one-shot mobs, you're probably wondering, well, Duct, I want 100% crit chance on my Ender armor. Now, your Ender armor is probably looking something like this. Now, on my Ender armor, I have Unpleasant rather than Godly, because it gives more crit chance. And that's just the thing. You might want to go Godly on it, you might want to go Unpleasant. Your Reforge does matter here because it's going to be doubled while you're in the end, so you're actually going to have 12% crit chance and 6% increased crit damage. That's why Ender armor is so good, is because all the stats are doubled in the end, which is where pretty much everything's happening right now until the dungeon update. It is pretty much where everything is going to happen for a while. Well, hopefully the dungeon update's not that far away. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So you can go Godly on your Ender armor, but you can also go Unpleasant. It's pretty good for the crit chance. Now, why does Reforge on Talismans matter? But essentially, Reforges on Talismans matter because you want 100% crit chance, and you want as much crit damage with 100% crit chance as possible. So if you go to your Skyblock menu and you go to your Talisman bag, this is what my Talisman bag looks like. It's not completely full because I haven't bothered to actually get all the Talismans because I probably should, but I haven't yet. I have a lot of them. I have the Experience Artifact, I have Ender Artifact, I have a lot of the Talismans, but I don't have all of them. So, you're probably wondering, wait, Duck, but why don't you have all of them? Because I haven't done the most dragon fights. I've been prioritizing, like, my 15 minion slots in 24 hours, and my no coins challenge islands, and obviously I've been doing stuff on my main island. Like, I have been doing some dragon fights, I've been doing, like making my magma minion, I've been trying to get super compactors, we recently got all enchanted lava, but essentially, I haven't been doing so much dragon fights that's worth me, like, investing in talismans. But, if you'll look, I do have 100% crit chance when I'm holding my sword, of course. So, when I'm holding my sword, because Aspect of Dragons gives you that lovely, spicy 1% crit chance increase. So I have 100% crit chance with my sword, which actually means I don't have 100% with my runes bow. Oh my. Well, that's a problem, but we'll have to fix that. But essentially, how you would fix that, you're probably wondering, wait, Duck, but how would you fix that? So, if you go to your talismans, essentially what you want to do is you want to have Itchy on commons, rares, and epics. Because Itchy is the best for those. You have strength, crit damage, and attack speed with all the Itchies, which is pretty good. It's actually really good, especially with the epics. You're getting plus 3 strength, plus 12% crit damage, and plus 3% attack speed. But you also see that since they changed Itchy, you don't actually get any crit chance from Itchy, which is annoying, but, it's a thing. So, you're not going to get any crit chance from your commons, rares, or epics. Essentially what you want to do with all of your uncommons is make them Zealous or Godly. Zealous and Godly give the same reforges at uncommon, so it doesn't matter which one. it gives you +2 strength, +2% of crit. It gives you +2 strength, +2 crit chance, +2% crit damage, which is honestly really good. The crit chance definitely adds up if you have a lot of uncommons. So like I have my Lava Talisman, I have my Wood Affinity Talisman, I have my Gravity Talisman, my Magnite Talisman, Potion Affinity Ring, Spider Talisman, and Farmer Orb, and I think that's all my uncommons. I still need to work on those. But yeah. Really, the reason I hadn't worked on my talismans too much is because my talisman bag was full before. So now that my talisman bag isn't full, since we got the talisman bag increase upgrade, I work on getting more talismans and filling it up further. So essentially, since I need like 1% more crit chance, what I would do is change an Itchy to a Godly or Zealous. So like, say for example, let's just do it right now. I have an Itchy Skeleton Talisman. If I want to go ahead and reforge this at the blacksmith right here, I could go ahead and throw them in. And I can reforge them until I get Godly or Zealous, and that will give me my +1% crit chance, and then I'll have 100% crit chance with my bow again, which is definitely what you're going to want to do. I guess you could also use Unpleasant for the crit chance, just, you know, it doesn't really matter in the commons, I guess, technically, as long as you have the crit chance, since commons aren't going to give you an insane reforge difference, but, you know, it does make a difference whether you have, what reforges you have. So here we got Zealous. At common, it gives you +1 strength, +1 crit chance, +1 crit damage, and +1 intelligence. So it actually is pretty decent at common. The thing is, Itchy gives you +3% crit damage, which is a lot more actually. But if you do need that crit chance like I do, it's definitely worth getting one to Zealous or Godly. And that crit chance is definitely worth it. So you're probably going to want to get, like, essentially that's what y'all need to do. You need to look at, okay, how much more crit chance do I need? Do I need like 10% more crit chance? You might want to change some of your rares to Zealous or Godly for the crit chance, which I know you're like, wait, but I'm losing out on crit damage because of that. Well, if you're able to one-shot anyways, it doesn't matter, essentially, in the end right now. Crit damage, obviously, it will matter some in terms of like the dragon fight, of course, but if you're just trying to get that 100% crit chance, you're of course going to want to focus. Like, you want 100% crit chance no matter what. And then how much crit damage you can get after that is like how many talismans you could get after that. So, speaking of which, I probably need to get more talismans in my next live stream, most likely. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. To finish it off, guys, essentially you're going to want Itchy on commons, rares, and epics, and Zealous and Godly on uncommons. That's a simple form of it. And then you might want to switch some things out if you're trying to get more crit damage or more crit chance. Like, if you have over 100% crit chance, it's not worth it. You're going to want to change something to crit damage. So, that's always the situation. So, if you have over 100% crit chance, you're going to want to change something that's Zealous or Godly, for example, probably an uncommon, to Itchy for the increased crit damage. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this Talisman Guide video. I put a lot of effort in this video because I knew it would really help out a lot of people, and I'm really trying to help y'all out with this. I know talismans are something that are kind of hard to really get down, so I wanted to make it as streamlined as possible, help you with the reforges, help you with like what talismans to get, and all of that. Anyways, I hope this video really helped you out, hope you enjoyed. If it did, consider liking it, helps me out a lot, helps promote the channel, and if you're new here, consider subscribing for more content. Anyways, I'll see y'all in the next one, guys.